r/OutOfTheLoop. Logan Spencer says, "What's up with Republicans saying liberals are banning all sorts of appliances? Just saw this post, what's the context here? What's the reality? Why are they making a fuss?" Living Ghost 371 says, "Answer, a recent federal study came out that suggested that gas stoves are linked to childhood asthma. The panel suggested tightening up design standards, and one CPSC member, who has no authority by himself to so, made a comment to the effect that products that can't be made safe should be banned." Republicans took that as meaning the government is for sure planning on banning gas stoves and is coming to rip them out of our houses, and felt their freedom to choose their preferred method of cooking in jeopardy and blow everything out of proportion. The Democrats in turn responded to by blowing everything even more out of proportion by piling on a lot of hate on gas stoves / edit, including bringing up their greenhouse gas emissions and potential health risks that weren't in the scope of the current study. And kept going on about how electric induction stoves are actually so much better than gas. Edit, there's also a lot of people that don't understand how good induction stoves are. Although they're really expensive, you don't get the ambience of a real flame, can't roast marshmallows, and they don't work in a power failure. They are generally faster than gas at normal cooking. People remember the crappy old cheap electric stoves with the coil element that grandma had in her apartment. Fiscoldba Massive says, "So basically the war on kitchen appliances is the new war on Christmas." Jonestown_juice says, "Meanwhile conservatives are literally banning books and rainbows in our schools in Texas." Hi, Bye says, "Answer, we want to get rid of gas stoves so it causes less brain damage to our babies. Republicans are very angry because they need the brain damaged vote to survive, so they are stirring up a revolt against this. I wish I were making that up." Elephanogram says, "They don't even want to ban stoves, but tighten legislation to make them more efficient and less dangerous. The only banning I've seen was more of a grandfathering, and that wasn't even done. The reason why there's such a shit fit is twofold. If science says something, they will do the opposite. Natural gas is part of the gas industry, of course, and disrupting the easily malleable into champions for the rich person's cause. It's the same as rolling coal. I bet if there starts to be news articles saying that liberals want people to stop giving themselves gasoline enemas, you'll start seeing a bunch of videos of people shoving the tip of the pump up their ass at gas stations while taking pictures of how much gas is being put up there as a TikTok challenge." r/OutOfTheLoop. One Abe Doc says, "What is the deal with the new TikTok trend of saying the highway looks comfy? Few examples. Normally it's like a couple doing something cute together, and then someone says the highway look comfy." Lemon Sheep 35 says, "Answer, it is a joke about committing suicide at the sight of seeing happy couples. The highway looks comfy implies one stepping out into or lying on a highway to kill themselves. People are using it jokingly because they are jealous of what other couples have. It is the same as the trend when people would compliment a couple then say something like taking a bath with my toaster RN." OK_can_7282 says, "TikTok censorship has done wonders for saying horrible things in creative ways." r/OutOfTheLoop. Perfect Fox 1010 says, "What is going on with r/funnymemes and posts about Islam? I'm a lurker, but I saw the subreddit coming up on the front page about Islam posts for several weeks. I know the current political context of these posts, but I'm confused as to why this sub about funny memes upvotes such content. Did the sub change, or what is going on? Post in question." Stray Carbon says, "Answer, funnymemes is a subreddit with a large and engaged subscriber base, and people are airing their grievances with Islam in a place where it will reach the biggest number of people. The moderators of that subreddit also seem to be slow to lock the posts, which probably wouldn't happen on more strictly moderated subreddits, meaning people can also engage with the posts before they are locked. I don't think there's much else to it beyond that. White Walker 646 says, that sub is also infested by Hindu nationalists pretending to be ex-Muslim and openly for calling for genocide and ethnic cleansing of Muslims in the comments with a frightening amount of support. Solris says, I dunno. I noticed both r/memes and r/funnymemes have taken a hard turn towards anti-trans or dunking on minorities content recently. I just unsubscribed to both recently because I was tired of that garbage clogging up my feed. I think they are being actively taken over by alt-right edgelords. r/OutOfTheLoop. Galactic_observer says, why have people been talking about the Tartaria conspiracy theory? I have heard several people in the past mentioning a Tartaria conspiracy theory. What is it? Is it some sort of racist conspiracy theory like the lost cause of the Confederacy or the myth of the clean worm hatched? Is it like canon, in that it blames a group of well-known people for problems in our society? Or is it something else entirely? I've heard that it has something to do with architecture, but I'm not sure about what the conspiracy theory exactly teaches. For example, there are books discussing it such as these, but I'm not going to read any conspiracy theory books. Atom Fullerine says, answer, Tartaria is basically the equivalent of flat earth conspiracy theories for history. It's absolutely bonkers. It's been kicking around for years now, but maybe is getting more popular? The name Tartaria comes from a rather out-of-date word for Central Asia. At some point, people seem to have read references to Tartaria, seeming to refer to a huge centralized empire in Central Asia, but which was really just old authors using the word to refer to a bunch of Central Asian groups we can't be bothered to keep track of individually. All of this may be somehow related to Fomenko's new chronology, which is a whole other bonkers conspiracy. Anyway, somehow this idea of Tartaria as a huge, powerful empire that got written out of all the history books got tied in with /r/mudflood conspiracies, which basically come down to the idea that in the distant past of, like, 100 years ago, some mysterious event wiped out pre-existing Tartarian civilization and modern civilization was built on the rubble, with a totally faked history to cover it all up. You'll see all sorts of references to half-buried buildings, old photos with no people, and 19th century architecture from around the world. r/OutOfTheLoop. Inarius says, what's the deal with eggs being so expensive recently? I've been seeing a rise in posts about eggs being so expensive to the point people are literally buying hens to grow eggs in their backyard. I've also witnessed this anecdotally while I visit the grocery store. What changed recently that's causing the egg prices to skyrocket and become unaffordable? Wilmington says, answer, there is a perceived notion the egg industry is going to be decimated from ongoing avian flu. The producers are taking in what they can. Hopefully they put this to replacing stocks in the future and not lining their pockets. Medium Drink says, by replacing stocks I assume you mean doing massive stock buybacks, because that is what American corporations do when they have massive profit windfall. Fire Dragon's First Love says, answer, bird flu and feed prices. Feed prices are related to wheat shortages. Maliat says, why are you being downvoted? Feed prices are insane right now, and avian flu containment protocol is intense. Do people just want this to be about greed? Kate_Cat says, answer, there is a bad avian flu going around. It's hard to treat and catch early and it spreads easily within birds, so if you end up with one bad with the flu, they all have the flu, and you gotta kill them all. This has been hitting egg producer farms hard and reducing the supply of eggs, thus driving the price up. Dominus_Pullum says, that the many companies that practice factory farming have the poor things locked inside so cramped up to one another. It's no big surprise that this method is backfiring. That's all for this video. Was it good? I know not, for I'm a robot. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. This video is the product of an automated process.